Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates located here in Tempe, Arizona. And today I have Kylie with me, who is our teacher training coordinator. So if you've ever inquired about the teacher training program or are currently enrolled inside the program, chances are Kylie is the person you've been communicating with behind the scenes. What makes today's session really special is that Kylie has never done Pilates on the equipment before. And honestly, this is one of the most important types of sessions for instructors to study because it teaches you how to work with someone who is completely brand new. She doesn't know the Pilates breath yet. She doesn't know about neutral spine. She doesn't know about the equipment itself. So I'm walking her through those foundational concepts while also introducing her to a very beginner-friendly progressive flow on the reformer. So as I assessed her posture, there was a few things I immediately noticed. Kylie is a dancer, so she naturally wants to turn out through the hips and feet. She also shows an anterior pelvic tilt, right hip rotation, and the left shoulder rotation, which contributes to some of her mid-back discomfort and tension that she experiences. So throughout this session, you'll see me constantly observing her alignment, making small corrections, simplifying the exercise when needed, and really focusing on creating a positive first experience on the reformer. That is such an important reminder as an instructor. You don't need to overcomplicate a session to make it effective, especially with beginners. The goal is not to overwhelm them. The goal is to help them feel successful, supported, and excited to come back. So if you're someone wanting to learn how to teach like this is exactly what we focus on inside the Function Pilates Teacher Training program. We teach you how to observe the body in front of you, understand the posture and movement patterns, and create intentional programming that actually makes sense for the client. So we are currently enrolling for our summer programs, both online and in person, so you can choose whatever works best for your schedule and your goals. And if you're already an instructor and want to learn the Function Pilates method on a deeper level, we are also accepting applications for our Master Trainer program, which I'm incredibly excited to continue expanding. So everything is linked for you in that description box below. And if you haven't watched any of the other student guest sessions here on the channel yet, definitely go back and check those out because every single body tells a different story. Every session brings different posture patterns, different conversations, different teaching moments, and different ways to approach programming. So some sessions are more educational, some have been more conversational, and some are a blend of both, but there's always something to learn from each one. So really study these sessions, observe the cueing, observe the corrections, observe the flow and the communication style that I'm doing with these students. And you're going to pick up something valuable from every single one. I honestly know that. So thank you guys so much for being here. Drop any questions you have in the comments below and enjoy the session. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna have you go ahead and lie on your back. So carefully, we'll get you there. And let's have you take your feet up on the foot bar here. Yes. And then I'm gonna have you just take your hands to the pegs. Yeah, you're gonna feel like these right here. Those are the pegs, okay? So your elbows are just stretching out. And right now I just want you to get a stretch in that upper body. Do you already feel that? Okay. You're gonna just take your knees from side to side so that we can soften and loosen up through the low back. So just windshield wipe those. And what I wanna start with, because this is a whole brand new session, I wanna talk about breathing and neutral spine with you, okay? So these are the two key elements of Pilates that basically everyone learns. It can take months, years for someone to really establish this into their brain. It's no big deal because it does require conscious thinking on it. But that's the one thing I want to definitely start with you on and then come back through center. So let's go ahead and take your hands, place them on your rib cage here. Let's have your fingertips facing one another. And in Pilates breathing, we call it lateral intercostal breathing. So let me break that down. Lateral meaning the sides of your rib cage, intercostal meaning the muscles in between the bones of the rib cage here, okay? That's where if you've ever did so much workout, like ab exercises, and you like feel sore and you're like, oh my God, I don't know why I feel sore up here when like you're thinking you should feel more sore at the center of your abs. It's still targeting those muscles in the rib cage here, also from like the breath work too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you start to take an inhale through your nose. And as you're inhaling, I want you to feel like your ribs are expanding into your hands. Like they're literally going from side to side here of the room here, okay? And as you exhale, it's almost like you're cinching your waist together, so it's naturally drawing your fingertips towards one another without you having to do anything differently. And it's gonna take some time here, so as you continue to breathe, you're inhaling through your nose, and then you're going to exhale, start to cinch the waist as you narrow the rib cage. So the inhale will feel like an expansion of the rib cage. The exhale will feel like it's knitting together like a tight corset. Have you ever worn like one of those like corset? They're like, you feel like you're like sucking in the whole time.
Yes.
That's kind of like, I don't want you to suck in, but I want you to feel like it's really like narrowing, like a funnel here, the bottom of the funnel. Yeah. So let's do this a couple more times. So as you inhale, like really expand, breathe into those hands. And as you exhale, allow those fingertips to naturally glide back together. One more time. Sometimes as we're breathing, we might even notice like some cracks in our back, in our joints, because our ribs haven't expanded to that dimension yet. Mm-hmm. So it is really great. Breathing in general is a form of activating the core. Mm-hmm. So like folks that can't specifically do flexion or any type of major abdominal exercises, literally breathing like this will help to strengthen that whole specific area. Okay, let's take your hands beside you, and we're gonna go into what we call neutral pelvis, neutral spine. So I'm gonna have you overly imprint your low back into the mat for me. So you're flattening your back completely, and then you're gonna go ahead and overly arch your back. Yes. So you're creating like this space underneath your low back. You're gonna go ahead and imprint again. So you're gonna press your low back into it. You can feel more of that connection there, right? Mm-hmm. And then as you go ahead and start to arch your back, you're gonna feel like you're overextending your spine. And let's go ahead and continue. Let's get about 3 more times here, which honestly, this like the pelvic tilts feel good because it feels like it's stretching out that whole region, where on you is already tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you flatten your back, I want you to almost think about facilitating that movement with your abs. Like you are pulling from the center of your belly button down into the spine, because we're gonna build on that thought process. Okay. And that deeper connection. Good. And then go ahead, arch your back. And then I want you to completely relax here into what feels comfortable for you. And that is what we call your neutral pelvis and your neutral spine, which is mainly what my job is as the instructor, to make sure that you maintain that position in everything that we do, whether it's lying on your back, whether it's sitting, standing, kneeling. It is the job of the instructor to like literally see what's happening, and then to make those cues and adjustments to help you get back into position. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna have you go ahead and separate your feet just slightly here. And then we're gonna take your hands behind your head. So you're gonna interlace your hands, and we're just gonna do a little warm up here, okay? So you can interlace your hands there. Let's start to pull those ribs back together, beautiful. So you found your neutral pelvis. And then I'm gonna have you exhale. So you're gonna flex your spine up for me. So you're gonna look straight at your belly button as you curl your head and chest up. Yes, and then go ahead and lower back down again. Perfect. And then exhaling out through your mouth as you curl your head and chest up. And then taking your inhale to lower back down. Good. I don't expect you to get the breath pattern like correct, and don't get caught up in it. Just start to breathe when it just feels natural to you as well. Good. And I'm just taking a peek behind here because I just want to see how you lift up if you're favoring one side. So yes, let's see if you can pick up that right side a little bit more when you curl your head and chest up, and we'll do 3 more here. So we're exhaling and we're lifting. Right side, right side, right side. Yes, and it's tight there. Do you feel that?
I have a lot of pain in my right back.
Like
right
back of the shoulder blade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not doing this, just like in general.
In general.
In life.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. And again, let's go up for 2. So that's something to note here is like, wow, I had to like lift up a little extra more because it is tight in last time. And start to lower back down again. Okay, good. Let's take your right leg into what we call a tabletop position. So you're 90 at your hip, 90 at your knee. And I'm gonna let you relax here. You can take your arms beside you, that's fine. So without adding flexion, we're gonna still emphasize warming up through your midsection. So you're gonna hinge here. So basically you're gonna lower the leg down like so, and then return it back up again, like that. And continue. You're gonna inhale to lower, you're gonna exhale to lift the leg back up. And as we continue through these next few repetitions, I want you to imagine that that right leg is like extra heavy. So with that being said, you're gonna inhale to lower. Now, as you exhale, think about pushing your low back into the mat as you lift the leg back up again. Does that feel a little different? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try that 3 more times like that. So you're gonna inhale to lower. Think about that connection with your back pressing into the mat, creating this heaviness on the leg. And 2 more, inhaling and using your breath to guide you back up. 1 more time. Beautiful, and then switching sides. So we'll go to the left side. So whole new thing, might feel completely different, but we'll refocus here. So again, connecting those ribs together, and then you're gonna inhale, you're gonna lower the leg down, hinging from the hip, and then returning back up again. And what my job is I'm making sure that you maintain that 90-degree angle behind that knee, which you're doing good. Inhale, lower. Think about pressing your low back into the mat before returning the leg back up again. Challenging yourself to create, again, this heaviness in your midsection. And lift. 2 more. And lift. Beautiful. Keeping the jaw and the shoulders relaxed. Last time. Excellent. Now hold this leg steady. Let's bring the right leg back up into tabletop to match, and we'll go into what we call marching. So you're going to drop the right leg down, hold, and now simultaneously you're going to slowly switch the legs here, which is going to put a deeper emphasis on that neutral spine, right? It's harder. Yeah. So as we're doing that, it's just a really slow movement pattern, enough for you to still, again, maintain the integrity of your spine. So again, if you feel like you're dipping your legs too low, we know we've gone too far. Mm-hmm. So we just have to have a easier stopping point, a sooner stopping point, I should say. Beautiful, I like that. Let's go here for 3. Nice and easy. And lift, keep pressing your low back down, maintaining that deep connection. Last time, we drop with the right, and 1 more with the left. And then let's return and bring those feet back down. Okay, so the whole point of this warm-up is literally to get you like, okay, now I know where I'm gonna move from on these next few exercises that we're doing. I'm gonna drop this spring system down. So I have you on a pretty foundational spring system. It's generic, so it's gonna feel a little on the heavier side too. So let's take your heels on. So we're gonna go through a few different variations to warm up the larger muscle groups of your legs here. Okay, and this first variation is gonna be on your heels. I'm gonna have you flex your feet so your toes are up at the ceiling. I'm looking to make sure your knees are in line with your hips, arms are beside you. And then actually with that left hand, hold the peg for me, because that was the side where I wanted to really stretch out your shoulder. Yes, and just naturally just drop that down. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna have you push out to 2 straight legs for me. You got it. Yep, and hold right there. Just take a moment, just check in with yourself. I'm just gonna assess you from the back here. And then I'm gonna have you slowly bend your knees to bring that carriage back in. So you're gonna basically try to not come back and relax completely, but you're going to hover when you feel like that stopper is that you're gonna hit it. That looks good. And then returning. You got it. And pause right there and push out to 2 straight legs. So the goal is that we're building up this heat, this sensation in your legs so that you can start to feel the muscles here activate. Hold, push on out so that you're not getting that complete rest or that break. And as you're doing that, I'm gonna pay attention here to the feet. Press out. Yep. Beautiful. Maintain connection with my hands here as you straighten your legs. That should feel a little different on your calves and your ankles. You got it. And let's try it for another 2. So this is working your quads and your hamstrings, so the front and the back of your thighs here. And last one. Beautiful. You can relax your arm here and see if that feels like it loosened up a little bit.
I felt this stretch.
Yeah. Let's move it down to your toes. So let's bring it down to your toes. You're still in what we call this parallel alignment. And then I'm going to challenge you to lift your heels up for me. Good. So knees are in line with those hips. Palms are pressing down. Once you're ready, let's go ahead and extend out. And this should probably feel quite normal to you since I know you have that dance background. So to be on your tippy toes is like no big deal, right? So in that case, I may even want to, as you continue, still your first round here, but finding that connection, I may even challenge you to drop your heels down lower and see how that feels in your ankles. Yeah. Good. Beautiful. We press out, we'll get long. And bend. Good. Push out, get long. Bends. Think about putting your right hip down into the mat more. Yep, try to maintain that as you continue with this flow. And do you feel how that like shifted to your left side? Because there's more flexion now in your left knee.
Yeah.
Which, does it feel like it's stretching more? Or what does it feel in your body, if you can pinpoint it?
It almost feels lighter. Like this side feels lighter.
Okay.
I think.
That's okay. It's okay. That's what the whole thing with Pilates is like you're building this awareness to really understand your body.
Yeah.
But it's just me trying to create those questions so that you can identify that more. Good. And then let's bring it back in. Good. Let's go ahead. Keep your toes where they're at. Let's connect your heels together so you can come back to parallel. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to adjust you there. Just because I want the knee or the feet to be in line. And then now keep your toes there, but glue your heels together. And then the knees are as wide as your shoulders. So I'm looking at this framework here, okay? And then go ahead and press out. So now we're targeting mostly the inner thighs in this variation. And then return back in and gluing those heels together. Extend. And that's hard. There's a point where you have, I can see the struggle kick in.
It's
like, it takes effort. It's definitely making you work for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keeping the heels together. My heels want to separate.
Is it because of like you feel different muscle groups trying to, like your body feels uncomfortable?
I think, yeah, but in a good way. Like my heels just naturally want to go apart.
Okay.
Like right there.
That could be structural too, but I don't see that. It's to me, I see it more as a sense of weakness is occurring right at that little bit.
For sure.
Because sometimes people can't do that because it's just structural. They're just not built that way. So it's just going to separate. Good. Let's try this one more time. Extending out nice and long. And last time. Beautiful. Okay, a couple more variations that we're doing. We're gonna come up to your heels, but we're taking it wider on the foot bar here. So we call this wide V second. So again, knees, I want to stay in line with your shoulders. You're gonna flex your feet and you're gonna press out to 2 straight legs. Remember, this is the one, since your heels are on, I want to avoid kind of teeter-tottering at the ankles. So as we create more stability, like maintaining contact with my hands, it's going to require you to work through your calves and your ankles a lot more. And that's one of the benefits of doing footwork, is that we are strengthening the ankles, the knees, and the hips, which again, as a dancer, is really important. Mostly for everybody, but yeah, we have to specifically like apply this to what your lifestyle is. That's how I would say that. Nice. Spring, the tension feels good for you?
Yeah.
Good. And press out. Kind of fun, right? You're like, I'm lying down and I get to work out. Like, this is great, which is a lot of the times people love Pilates too, just because like you come in here and you're like, oh, this is relaxed.
Can still feel like your muscles working. Like it's...
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
Not just chilling, yeah.
Absolutely. Good. And then let's bring it in, come down to your toes. Staying in this wide stance. Let's, again, I do like the heels lower because you're so naturally wanting to be in that high-heeled position. Yeah. I'm going to challenge you to stay here and then to press out.
Okay.
Think about pressing again with equal weight distribution in your toes here. Try not to lift the toes, but maintaining that connection on the bar. And bend your knees. Good. And press out. Nice. Keep going. Again, we take inventory of our bodies all the time. So it's like, how's my jaw feeling? How are my facial muscles? Am I relaxing my shoulder? So it's like we're trying to ask ourselves these questions every single time that we're moving here, because we can lose focus inside of that. Nice. Good job. And again, these last few, think about pressing your low back down into the mat to create more of that ab connection we did from our warm up. And last 2. And one more time. I like it. Come back in. And then we're going to go with what we call calf raises here. So you're gonna move your feet into the middle of the foot bar. I'm gonna have you again separate about hip distance apart, and then you can go ahead, Kylie, press out to 2 straight legs. You're gonna drop your heels under for a stretch right now, and I'm gonna actually pull on your heels so you're gonna feel that even further.
Feels so good.
Yes, yes. Can you press your right hip down a little bit? Yes, do you feel the difference? So you were getting the benefit of it, but because I had you realign your pelvis, now you're feeling it in places you didn't feel before.
Yeah.
Yes, very important. Okay, try to maintain that position. I'm gonna let go, and then I'm gonna have you start to lift your heels up towards the ceiling, and then with control, you're going to lower your heels down under the foot bar. And what I like to look at here is, especially in a private setting, is which heel is necessarily reaching further than the other heel. Because then there's like so much more work to be done, so much more lengthening to be done. And now your right side is reaching a little further.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and lower down. Try to keep your toes connected. Yes. Yes, there you go, because that's gonna make you get the feet stronger here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 5 more. So you'll start to feel the burning sensation as you pick up the repetitions here. Good. Reaching a little bit more with that left side. There we go. And drop. And you're doing a good job of keeping them parallel, that they're not trying to splay outward like I was seeing in your photo too. Mm-hmm. Good. And one more time. And then go ahead and lift the heels first. See if we can lift the heels all the way up. And then bend the knees and then come back in. Good, good, good. Okay, feeling okay so far? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna move along now, and I'm gonna take you into a little bit more core focused work here. So I'm gonna add on an extra light spring. I'm gonna reduce your spring tension. So now I'm on a medium and an extra light. And then we're going to grab a hold of what we call these handles. So I'll hand those to you. And then you're gonna bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. And with this, we're gonna have, we want to organize our wrists over our shoulders. Okay, so you're gonna pull on those straps a tad, okay? In Pilates, we want to always enforce like an open palm. So I'm gonna have you reach your fingertips to the ceiling. And just like that, that's how you're going to move your arms with it, okay? You're gonna find that tabletop position again. So let's bring the right leg up and let's bring the left leg, and you're gonna connect your knees together like they're a team here, okay? They're one unit. All right, how's your back doing? Good, we're gonna keep that in place. And then you're going to slowly start to drop your arms down beside you, letting your palms, yes, just hover over that carriage, and then bring it back up. And as we move the arms down, I will have you start to use your exhalation. And then as you inhale, your arms will start to slowly come up. But you're doing a really great job of controlling all the mechanics here. And exhale, lower down. And inhale, bring it back up. Good, keep going. So as we're doing this, it's so important to understand that like everything in your body is quiet, and you're doing a really good job. You're not really moving your tabletop position. We're really enforcing more of this midsection.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be super heavy, so you're not getting a completely huge arm workout here. But the goal is that a lot of this work is coming from the back of your below your armpits. Okay, so we're trying to get into your lats. We're trying to strengthen that whole area. So on this next one, I'm gonna ask you to come up into flexion like we did in the warm-up. So you're gonna curl your head and chest up as you drop your arms down beside you, hovering. Think of reaching your fingertips towards me, yes. And then bring your arms back up, lower your head down, hold. And let's try that again, 4 more times. We're gonna curl up, eyesight to the belly button, legs are not moving. And then inhale through the nose, bring those arms back up again. Good, and we know in the warm-up, we needed the right side to come up higher, so let's see how we're doing. Curl ourselves up. Good, good, I see a lot more symmetry here. And then lower back down. And let's curl it back up. We're exhaling. Think about pulling your belly button away from your shorts. And lower back down. And let's do one more here. Good job. And then go ahead and bring it back down. So on this next one, hold. Okay, how are we doing? Actually, let's give you a little break. So you're gonna go ahead and just kind of windshield wipe your legs here. You can take your arms out to a T and just kind of relax for a second. I'm gonna challenge you here because you're doing a really good job, and so I'm gonna progress you to the next level. So everything's gonna stay the same. You're gonna curl your head and chest up just like you were doing. Legs are gonna go from tabletop out to 45 degrees.
Okay.
So they're gonna straighten at the same time. Once you lower your head down, I'm gonna ask you to bring your knees back into tabletop. So I'll talk you through it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and bring your arms straight back up again. Find that resistance in the ropes and then bring one leg at a time into tabletop. Yes, just like that. And let's have wrists over your shoulders. So bring your hands back a little bit, right about there. Okay, so we're gonna take that inhale to prepare. On your exhale, you're gonna lift your head and chest up. You're going to reach your legs out towards my hand. Yes, changes everything. Beautiful correction with the wrists. And then bend the knees back in, arms go up, head goes down. You got it. Let's try this 5 more times. We're gonna exhale nice and slow. We lift the head and the chest. We extend out long, energetically through your toes. Nice wrist alignment. Lower back down, bending the knees. You got it. Inhale there and exhale. Curl it on up. If you feel any low back lift, you wanna lift your legs up higher. Yes, there you go, good. And then go ahead and bend. The shake is okay, because then we know that we are definitely getting in tune with our abs here. Good, extend, beautiful. Yes, energetic through those arms. Lower everything back down. And let's try this again one more time. We're gonna curl our head and chest up. Reach arms and legs, eyesight to the belly button. There you go. And then lower everything back down again. Beautiful. Let's take your feet back down to the foot bar. Excellent. Okay, so abs are warm now, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna change out you can just sit there for a second. I'm gonna change out your handles to your loops. We're gonna go into the next set here of hip strengthening. So we're going to work on mobilizing through your hip joints. So I'm also going to change out the springs to a medium and a light spring. And then what we're gonna do here is you're actually gonna, this is like the fun part. This is like when people love about Pilates. They're like, oh, I get my feet in the straps and everything. So you're going to go ahead and push out to 2 straight legs for me. All right. I'm gonna put my foot here and then raise your right leg up. Okay, so I want you to feel like you have tension in here. So you're pushing into the loop, and when you feel ready, let's bring that left foot up. There you go. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna have you straighten your legs out for me. Hold. Okay, so there's a lot of things that can happen here. I want you to feel like you're in control of the straps, that the straps are not controlling you. So I'm gonna take you through a couple different things that I want you to feel. Okay. So when we lower the legs down, you're gonna start to lower them towards the floor, okay? So what happens to your low back as you're doing this?
It wants to arch.
It wants to arch, yeah. Exactly. So we already know from previously, we don't want that to happen. So your stopping point, go ahead and lift your legs back up a little bit, would be wherever you feel like you're like, I feel good here. I'm not arching my back.
Probably right here.
Okay, so when we do these different movement patterns, that's your stopping point. There's no need for you to go any further towards the floor at that point.
Okay.
Secondly, you're gonna bring your legs straight up towards my hand here. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel this really nice stretch in the back of your legs, right? And you're gonna start to feel like your tailbone is lifting off the carriage. Unless I say to do that, I don't want you to feel like you need to do that either, okay? Okay. So you're gonna start to push your feet towards my hand again. And probably like right about there, might be able to go up a little higher. Bring your feet. How's that feel?
Good.
Feel connected?
Oh yeah.
If you feel like you're pushing your low back down, I want you to think like anchoring your tailbone. This is your stopping point. So the whole point of this next exercise is to strengthen your hips. So I'm gonna have you start to lower your legs down to where we establish your stopping point.
Do you point or do you keep them flat?
I'll have you point. Yeah, I'll have you point. And then using your abdominal muscles, you're gonna navigate the legs back up again, not lifting the tailbone. And then you're going to, again, root your tailbone down, press through the backs of the legs here. So that's what we're targeting. Our muscle focus right now is your hamstrings. And then inhale, we'll bring it back up. Take your hands and lower it down a little bit more towards like your belly button. Let that be your reminder to initiate from that muscle focus. And it should help to kind of wire your brain that way. Continue. I like to say this, like think of like those big rolling brushes that people paint the wall with. Think of your feet as that long rolling brush, and you're literally painting the wall up and down here with that, okay? And then what I'm looking for from back here is that you are not letting your legs slide anywhere favorable to the left or the right. And you're doing a really good job. Like it looks symmetrical here. Excellent. And this again is, like I said, is helping to work on hip stability. It is helping to, again, lubricate the joints and also to work the back of the muscles of your leg here. Good. Plus, this is a really great initiating standpoint because you've not done this before. So it's like a great way to introduce feet in the straps. Let's do this one more time. And then pause right there. So go heels together, toes apart, and we call this frog. So you're gonna flex, you're gonna pull your toes towards you, and I'm gonna have you bend your knees in towards your chest here. Yep, and I'm gonna have you drop your heels. Not such a huge turnout, so I'll have you turn it, like, think of like a pizza slice, like a New York pizza slice. And then you're gonna straighten your legs out towards my hand, activating your inner thighs, which we already did in our footwork variation. And then let's bend your knees again. Keep those heels down. Yep, like right about here. And then push out to my hand. Squeeze those inner thighs, inner thighs, inner thighs. Yes, do you feel that? And then bend. So one thing I haven't really, I don't want to overload you with information, especially with like your first time, but when we talk about strengthening the core, there's 4 components that make up the core. One of them is the pelvic floor. So when you are extending your legs out straight, I almost like want you to think about contracting, like using those Kegel muscles to feel like you are reaching with your legs out, nice and long. Good. See if we can minimize the turnout. Yes. Okay, 3 more like that. Because I know you naturally want to do that huge turnout, so it's great because this is a joy. Like you're a dancer and you want to do all those things, and that's kind of what I don't want you to do. If someone was super tight and stiff, absolutely, all day long, I would be like, we are really opening up the hip joints. Okay. But I use this example a lot when I'm teaching students. A dancer is just going to want to naturally like have a huge turnout, and so we want to teach them the exact opposite. Yeah. Good. Last time. And press out. Good. Hold it right there. We can go back to parallel here. And now we're going to add circles, okay? So you're going to start to separate your legs and circle back up and around. And drop your legs down. You're going to separate and circle up and around. So the fun part here is you can actually look at your legs and see which one is actually going out further than the other one. Right? Yeah. And it's like, oh, I actually didn't notice that. Or I didn't know I had to put more work into one side.
That one's just going.
Yeah, because the right side is tighter. That's what I was saying, your right hip rotation. That's going to feel really natural. So think about that right side navigating outward a little bit more. Or we need to bring the left leg in. Okay. So it can't go out as far. We're going to really regulate it here. Okay, let's do 3 more in this direction. Nice. And 2. How's this feel?
Good.
Good. Good. And 1 more time. Nice. Okay, hold at the top here. I'm going to have you reverse your direction. Okay, so ground your tailbone down for me a little bit more. So push your feet away from your chest. Yes, right there. And then you're going to go ahead and reverse. You're going to open your legs out wide, and you're going to squeeze your inner thighs together. Just kind of sweep that energy down and around. Yes. And then back up. We're gonna separate, and you're gonna lower, push into the loops as you bring those legs back together and bring it up. And then go out, and then squeeze your inner thighs like they're coming together like magnets. And then return up. Okay, 3 more. Open, and squeeze those inner thighs, and then back up. Tailbone is still connected. And let's do 1 more. Out, nice and wide, and really pull and squeeze. And it looks like the right side opened up a lot more at the end there, for sure. Okay, good. Let me have you take your 1 foot out. You're gonna find your foot bar right away, okay? And then you're gonna take this foot out. Excellent.
Shaky.
And then go ahead, I'm gonna have you sit yourself up here carefully so you can exit over to the right-hand side. And we're gonna go into a stretch. So I want to, again, because of the anterior pelvic tilt, we're gonna stretch out the hip flexor and we'll get into the hamstring. So I'm gonna drop you down to a medium spring, and then you're going to face the mirror here. So let's line you up. Left foot is going up against the shoulder block for me. Like you're going into like a runner's lunge in a sense. Oh, right here, this one.
Oh.
This shoulder block. Yep, so just 1 foot's gonna be on the shoulder block. And then your right foot is gonna come where this bolt is. I'm gonna have you line up your big toe with it for me. So scoot it back, just like that. And then from here, you're going to just go into a nice deep lunge. So as you push out with your left leg, your right knee is actually gonna bend quite a bit so that you can kind of relax into this lunge, a supported lunge. Yeah, so once you're there, I'll make some corrections. So what I'm looking for is that the knee is over the ankle, so you can push yourself back a little bit there. Yes, and then we're going to, again, drop your right hip, lift your left, shoulders down. Like think of your tailbone tucking underneath you as you point your left hip forward. And that should feel like it's stretching the front of the hip flexor, which is our psoas. Yeah, good. Hold that position. Nice. Just taking some deep breaths with this. And then you can go ahead and straighten your right leg for me. So you're gonna lift your hips up as you straighten your right leg. You can come in a little bit right there, hold. We'll take a look at the pattern here of your hips. Pause, now push away using the bottom of your right foot. Yeah, so push away from the floor, try not to move the hips. Keep this hip up, keep going, keep going, keep going. Till you can't go any further. You should feel this now in the back of your right hamstring. Okay, hold it right there. Drop the right hip, lift the left, like that. Does that feel different?
Yes.
Yes. So we're getting right in the belly of the hamstring. I'm gonna take my hands off so that you can just breathe into it and just start to feel that stretch. Let's drop your shoulder, nice long neck, spine, love it. Good.
And feel this hip wanting to.
Yeah, it wants to go forward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you go back again. Drop it down and take it back. Yes, right there. Come back in for me. Good. And then let's take it to the other side. All right. So right foot is gonna be completely supported on that shoulder block. Left foot, again, we're gonna start to line you up with the bolt. That's it. And then move your right knee a little bit to the right. Yes, because I didn't like the alignment right there.
Okay.
Push out for me, so bend your left knee. Push out with your right leg. Keep going. So you're bending into your left knee quite a bit. Yeah. And let's see, let's lift this right hip. Yep, drop the left side for me. And then we'll try not to teeter-totter through that whole portion. How does that feel?
Good. I feel like more of like a
pinch because your left knee is shearing over your toes.
Oh.
So shift your weight back. Does that feel different? Yeah. So in a case where you ever feel that, it's most likely because the knee is shearing forward, and we just need to look at the alignment there. Good. A lot more like squared on this side. Whereas this side, I really had to make those adjustments because the right hip just, it wants to go forward. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and take the left leg. Let's straighten it out. And think about pushing into the floor as you straighten and glide yourself away from the carriage, or the foot bar, I should say. That looks good. Left shoulder is down, lovely. Let's take your right hip back, drop the left side. Yeah. Nice. And then let's have you carefully come right back in again. Good. Okay. So from here, we're gonna go into some upper body work. So specifically more arms. Okay. So I'll have you step off for a second. I'm gonna grab a box, and I like to use the box especially with that anterior pelvic tilt, plus it's your first time. So it's so much easier to do your arm work sitting on the box here. I'm gonna keep you on your medium spring. So you're gonna go ahead, Kylie, have a seat on the box facing the back, and your feet are actually gonna go on the headrest, okay? And then you're going to grab a hold of your loops here, just like that. And you're gonna hold them downward. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so this next exercise, we call it chest expansion, and this is the whole point of strengthening your whole back side of your body. Okay, it's gonna help to reinforce opening up the front side, which we know we wanted to do specifically on that left shoulder. So let's see here. Because of the hip flexors, let's do this. I'm gonna have you cross your ankles. Yep, and then allow your knees to fall outward.
Okay.
Does that feel like it's less like grabby on the hip flexors?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how I'm gonna make that adjustment, that modification for you. Now, as you sit up tall, pull your abdominals into my hand. And I want you to maintain this position as best as you can. This is what, again, our neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And then from here, I'm gonna have you just pull your arms back behind your hips. Just straight arms. The work is gonna come from here, and then slowly start to bring your arms forward. Shoulders back, and then go ahead. From here, activating like this. These are the first muscles being fired up, and then start to bring it forward. Think about looking straight ahead at that black rope, and just keep your eyesight there, mainly so that you're not dropping your chin or your head's not moving, so we can keep the back of your neck in line with your torso. Good. And continue. I'm gonna, again, try not to overcorrect you here, because again, as the first time, it could be a little overwhelming as like we make all these different corrections, but you're doing great. You've got the movement pattern. I would say one more thing if we can is roll the shoulder back, hold. Now go ahead and press back and see if that changes the way the feeling is.
I feel it where I'm supposed, where you were telling me to feel it more. Yeah.
Good. Let's try this again for 4.
This shoulder back.
Because that's your tighter shoulder. Your upper body was the left shoulder that rotated forward. With your hips, it was the right hip that rotated forward.
Okay.
And let's go here for 2. Beautiful. Nice, energetic through the arms, through the fingertips. It's like the fingertips are kind of like scraping the floor here. Good. Closing those ribs, last time. Now you understand there's like 10, 20 different things to be thinking about. And you're like, I can't think about my grocery list right now. No. There's just no way. No. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna have you cross your straps for me, crisscross them. You're gonna hold onto the loops now. This one, you are gonna grip it, and your elbows are gonna be in next to your ribs, okay? So we call this candlesticks. So from here, you're going to sit up nice and tall, ribs are closed, abs are in, and you're gonna open out, separating. And then you're gonna start to slowly come back in again. So just trying to pay attention to that left side, the wrist here, so we're not breaking the wrist alignment. Again, from here, that should change the way that feels. Yeah, and then bring it back in. So what this is emphasizing is the back of the shoulder, and it's helping to strengthen the thoracic area of your back. Good, and close it in. And we'll use your exhale. So you're gonna exhale to open. Roll that shoulder back. Yep, and continue. We'll go for 5. And close. See if you can lower your fists down a little bit. And 4. Yes, does that target differently? Everything matters. Lower the fist down a little bit more. 3. Yes. Because what's happening is you're compensating because of the weakness.
Yeah.
2. Good. And let's do one more. Using your exhale, we open. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna have you reach up. You're gonna keep them crossed, and you're gonna reach up where the black tape is at. And then I just really wanna open up nice and wide. So from here, you're gonna sit up tall, and palms are looking at one another. So you can lean back, so it's gonna move, okay? And then when you go ahead, I'm gonna have you turn your palms this way. You're going to pull wide, so your fists are coming in towards your sternum. Yes, there you go. And then start to release it. Allow this to be like you're initiating from your back muscles. So this whole area is feeling it. Drop your shoulders, elbows are like reaching just slightly below the shoulders, and then extend out nice and long. Excellent. And again, activate through here. This is the first thing that's getting activated. We're gonna take it here for 5. And exhale for 4. Good. And 3. My hands here as a reminder. Yep. 3. Stay with it. 2. Stay connected to my hand. There. You feel how your pelvis moves and shifts like that? Yep. And one more time. Try to do this just like that. One more good one. And release it. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this. You're going to turn yourself around and face the mirror. You're straddling the box here. So one foot's on one side, one foot's on the other side. And we're gonna keep you on the same spring tension. If for any reason this feels like it's too heavy, I'll reduce it. But go ahead and grab a hold of your loops from behind here.
This way?
Yep. There you go. And we're gonna go into what we call hug a tree. So you're gonna take your arms out to a T. Yes. And we wanna have like these soft elbows here, so we don't wanna feel like the straps are pulling us back.
Okay.
And from this position, really nice and tall, ribs are again pulled in, so lean your body back a little bit, right there. Now hold, which is gonna feel hard. You're gonna pull your fingertips in and then start to slowly open out nice and wide. Good. And then exhale, pull in. And open. And that's the hardest part, is like keeping that nice upright position. With holding that position, you're already feeling your core. Like there's no way of cheating it out.
Right.
And then continue. We'll do 5. I'm going to challenge you, as you open your arms out, keep them in your peripheral vision. We want to avoid going behind our body to prevent any injury or wear and tear on the shoulder joint. But naturally, this is about strengthening the shoulders. It's about strengthening the pectoral muscles of our chest. Good. And 2 more. Exhale. And this is a good way to look back here, dropping your left shoulder. Beautiful. And open. Let's take your elbows next to your rib cage here, okay? So we call this serving the tray. So right here, just imagine like a whole tray of brownies, and you're gonna extend them out. offer, and then you're like, no, we're just gonna take them back. Yes, drop your hands down a little bit more. There you go, reach. So this is being initiated from the front of your shoulder, and then bend your elbows. Exhale, good, yep. We wanna try not to collapse. We're staying strong, we're staying stable. Good. And then as you're doing that and accustomed to the movement pattern, think about reaching up a little bit more out of your left hip for me as you drop your right hip down. And how does that change your form? And bring it in. Did that feel any different?
Yeah, I think I was like clenching in my hip.
Okay. It could also, could you feel any muscles in your midsection fire up? Mm-hmm. Okay. So try it, let's do 3 more like that, because I liked that positioning. Really thinking about dropping your right hip, trying to lift up out of your left side a little bit, because from this perspective, that's when I can see where we like want to naturally fall into what feels comfortable, how we sit. Good, 2. And last time. Beautiful. All right, and then go ahead and bring it back in. And then I'll take these, and you can step off to the left-hand side here. Okay, let's go into what we call Mermaid, which is a really nice side stretch here. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a seat on the carriage, and I'm gonna just go ahead and have a seat for now. Go ahead and crisscross your legs. You're gonna face the window here, and you're gonna take your right leg and send it behind so that you're in a zigzag position. Perfect. And yeah, your left foot can just rest up against your thigh. Your left hand's gonna go on the foot bar here in the very center, and we're gonna go into a nice deep side stretch. Your right arm is gonna go out. Just like that, I'm gonna have you push away with your left hand and reach your right arm up and over. Yeah, just like that. So your bicep is over your ear, hold, and then think of your right hip going down. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. And that should benefit the stretch here. So my goal with this is to really just aim for the stretch. I'm not really gonna cue you anything else. Sit up nice and tall, and we'll do this 3 more times. So push away, and then go ahead and pull into my hand with your abs, and then I'm gonna even rotate your hip forward and then drop it down. Do you feel that even more? Mm-hmm. It should feel like a deeper stretch. Yep, and then go ahead and return. Because that's a tight side, it's like, nope, I don't like that. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna do where I wanna do. And let's go 2. Good. And then sit up nice and tall. And let's do 1 more. So reach, again, think of this heaviness, this weight coming out of your right hip. Beautiful. And then bring it back in. Excellent. So let's do the other side. We're gonna turn ourselves around. You'll zigzag, so now your left shin is up against the shoulder blocks. Let's see this perspective. So right hand's against the foot bar. And we're gonna go ahead and find it in the center for me. There you are. And then let's reach up and over. New side. Everything's gonna feel, yeah. You're actually like not even pushing that far away. So can we go a little bit more? Yes, there you go. And roll this hip forward slightly. Shine your ribs up towards the ceiling. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and return back in. Good, nice and tall for me. And let's reach up and over. Get heavy through your sits bones. There you go. Abs are in my hand. Stacking a little bit through here. There you are. And now as you drop your tailbone down, you can probably feel a deeper stretch there. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and come back up. 2 more, just like that. And nice deep breathing. Did one side feel tighter than the other?
The other side, I felt it more in my hip. This one, I feel it more in my side.
Okay, Good. Which I can show you too in your photos exactly why you feel that, like where it is. Last time. Beautiful. And then go ahead, come back up. Excellent. So we're gonna finish it off with extension, and this is, I'm gonna bring the box back, so go ahead and step off. And this is about, again, strengthening the whole back side of your body. And we'll go here. I'm going to take this foot bar down flat, and you're gonna stay on the medium spring. I'm gonna have you lie on your stomach. You're gonna face the back of the reformer. So your chest is gonna be slightly off the box here, okay? And with extension work, I'm gonna have you engage your legs, okay? So your legs are lifted, so we don't just get to hang out here. Actually, Kylie, let's have you move forward more. Yes, there you go. And so legs are gonna be separated, so you can point your toes towards me and slightly separate them here. Yes, just like so. And we're gonna grab a hold of the ropes here above the metal buckles. So grab a hold of the tape on each side. Okay, eyesight's gonna look down at the floor, and you can take your arms beside you straight on the outside of the frame of the reformer. Yeah, you can lower them down. But you have the right idea, because we're gonna angle ourselves up there. So we're gonna start with our wrists over, like right where our shoulder is at. And now I'm gonna have you just start to move your arms back where you just came from. So you're gonna pull them straight back. Excellent. And then lower your arms back down again. So continue that movement pattern. I'm gonna make some tweaks here. So can we lift up your right thigh a little bit more off the box so that's more engaged? Yes, so not at the knee, but hip extension. So straighten your legs and then squeeze your butt there. Yes, there you go. And that's what we mean by hip extension, not necessarily from the knee joint. And start to lower the arms, nice and long through those arms, shoulders are down. Exhale, we pull straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. Inhale to lower the arms down. Try not to break the wrists, especially that left side. Because that left side is weaker, we want to really activate. Remember, we already tried this before in another exercise, so continue to think that same feeling. And then lower back down. Let's go ahead. We're going to take it for 4. You're doing a really great job. Yes, good energetic positioning with the legs. We have a nice tall neck alignment. Yeah. 3. 2 more good ones. And then last time. Good. Hold it up there on your next one for me. Bring your arms all the way up. Drop your chest slightly. Lift your right thigh off the box a tiny bit. Hold it right there and pulse your arms up for 3, 2, and 1, and then lower everything back down. Did that feel different?
Yeah.
And then just hang your loops back on those pegs, those black pegs, and then you can go ahead and exit to the right-hand side. Okay, so you're gonna stand here because I like to end everything with a couple roll downs. So where I'm at, you can go ahead and set yourself up. And then as we're hip distance apart there, that's when you're gonna raise your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Then you're gonna dive yourself all the way down, reaching your fingertips into the well. Yes, drop those shoulders, relax everything. Good. And then this is a great opportunity for me to kind of check in on those hips. So bring the right hip back, push into your left foot more. And do you feel anything stretching a little bit more?
Yeah.
You could even go into your back. You might feel it stretch in your back as well. And then with that being said, begin to rebuild your spine up. So you're pulling your belly button up and towards you first. Head's gonna be the last thing. You're gonna naturally drop your shoulders down. And let's try that one more time. So you're gonna bring your arms back up again. And then we're gonna dive ourselves down, fingertips towards the floor. Looking good. Taking some mental notes here of how you're feeling. again, bring the right hip back, push into the left foot to raise that left side a little higher. And then hold that steady. Begin to use your breath and restack your spine up piece by piece. Getting tall at the very top. And exhale there. Beautiful work. Okay. First Pilates session down. How was it?
I like it.
Yeah?
I'm shaking.
Yeah.